So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial. This is going to be tutorial number 2 of the series for the drag and drop. And if you didn't watch part 1, it's not necessary, you can watch it, but in this tutorial we are going to explain everything again. And basically I will show you the first tutorial was I had some kind of shape and I was able to drag the shape like so. And if I would drag the shape to the area is going to change the opacity and the shape is going to stay and I cannot move it anymore. But let me refresh, because in this tutorial, no matter where I am going to drag the shape, it is going to snap to the center. So if I am going to drag on the corner, it is automatically go to the mouse is going to be in the center of the shape, like so. In this tutorial, what we are going to be doing today, we are going to have the same thing. So when I'm going to drag, it is going to snap to the original position. But when I am going to drag on the corner, like so, I am going to be dragging from that corner and like so. So this is a little bit more, difficult, or there is some additional step. So the first one was a little bit more simple, but yeah, this is what we are going to have. And when I am going to drop on the area, it is going to stay and I cannot drag it anymore. Okay, you can see that in this tutorial the area is not going to change the opacity. I showed that in the first one, so yeah, I didn't want to make this too long. Then I am going to create one more tutorial, or few more tutorials. So this is tutorial number 2, what we are going to be doing today. In the tutorial number 3, I will refresh. We are going to have 3 shapes and 3 areas. But in this tutorial, we are not going to go with the offset. So in this tutorial, what we are going to do today, I will show you offset. And once you know this, you can apply this to this tutorial. But the third one, I wanted to make a little bit more simple, because we have a lot of stuff. So in here, we are not going to have the offset, but we are going to have 3 shapes and they are going to return to the original position. And in this tutorial, I made it so that the blue one only can be dragged to the blue area. So it cannot go to the green, it cannot go to the orange, only to the blue one. Green can only go to the green one, and orange can only go to the orange one. And once I am going to drag them, I am going to have text winner. So this is going to be tutorial number 3. And the final tutorial, this one is actually going to be divided into the 2 parts. One more time, we are not going to calculate the offset in this one, but once you know the offset, you can do it with the offset. But in this tutorial, I will be able to drag any shape to any area. And once I am going to drag all of them, JavaScript will determine if I drag them correctly or not. So let me show you. For example, I am going to intentionally lose. So green to the blue one, orange to the green one, blue to the orange one, like so. And I am going to have text loser, and I am going to have button try again. So I can click try again, like so. And right now, I am going to put it correctly. So green to the green one, orange to the orange one, blue to the blue one, like so. And yeah, and one more time I have option try again. That's optional, but this is something which is maybe the most useful when you are going to have some kind of game. You can drag anywhere, and only once you drag, you are going to check whether it was correct or not. But yeah, in this tutorial, we are going to go only with one shape. We are going to calculate the offset. I am going to explain a lot of things, and yeah. As I said, the first tutorial is not necessary to watch. You can watch it, but this one is going to be similar, except we are going to calculate the offset. But yeah, enough of me talking. Right now we can start. Okay, so I am in the Adobe Animate, and I am going to choose width and height 500 by 500. That's optional, but this is what I am going to do. I want this to be HTML5 canvas, and I am going to click create. Now I will go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to get rid of the stroke. I want to have only fill, and I'm going to choose some blue color. And yeah, I'm going to hold the shift to stay proportional, and I'm going to create a shape like so. Now I will click on the shape and I'm going to make this to be 200 by 200 so we can see the numbers a little bit better. So I will log this like so, and I'm going to go 200 by 200 and yeah. Now I will convert it to the symbol, so F8 or modify, cancel, modify, convert to symbol. And yeah, I can call this to be blue shape, for example. I want this to be movie clip. Registration point doesn't matter, so the name is optional, but make sure it is movie clip, and I'm going to click OK. Now I can see that it is a movie clip, and I'm going to put an instance name to be able to target this with a JavaScript. So I am going to call this to be blue1. Now I am going to have this on the layer 1. I can rename this to be blue shape or anything, and I am going to create new layer which I can rename to be code, but the naming is optional. And I will go to the code layer, the first frame, right click, action, and it is going to open me text editor. You can adjust it, but probably you know, hopefully. And I am going to zoom in with Control and Command and mouse wheel. But yeah, you can position it as you want. You can scale this as you want, but yeah. And I am going to type this dot blue1. This refers to the main timeline. Blue1 is the name that we have created. Dot add the event listener like so. E has to be capital, L has to be capital. Make sure that you don't misspell it. I always have add even listener. So yeah, add even listener. For now, we are going to go with the click because I need to show you something. So we are going to go with the click. And I'm going to go and call the function which is going to be drag shape, for example. Later on, we are going to change this to press move, like so. And later on, we are going to change this to mouse down, but yeah, little by little. So I'm going to go with click. I'm going to create the function. Semicolons are optional. I'm going to create a function drag shape. I will copy this because I do not want to misspell this, like so, yeah, and parentheses, curly braces, and yeah. The issue is that, let's say that when I click, I want to change the opacity of the shape, so I could type this dot blue1 dot alpha is going to be equal to 0.5. But right now it's not going to be working and I will get an error. So I'm going to go with F12 or right click, inspect, and yeah, I will go to the console. This error is something that if I refresh, it is going to disappear, or if I refresh a couple of times. But if I click, I am going to have an error, cannot set properties of undefined. The issue is, and I need to talk about this because yeah, I have a separate tutorial about this, but this refers to the main timeline in here, but this inside of the function doesn't refer to the main timeline, but it refers to the function. So this blue1 is this timeline blue1, but this blue1 inside of the function doesn't exist. So we need to create a variable. I will go let root is equal to this. Right now root is always going to refer to this timeline, and inside of the function, instead of writing this, I will have to go with root. So yeah, this is something that we have to do. I will put the link in the description for the tutorial where I explain this in the detail if you want to know more. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is instead of click, I am going to change this to press move, like so. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that root blue1.x is going to be equal to stage.mousex, like so. And I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, and I'm going to go root blue1.y is going to be equal to stage.mousey. Now with this, what I'm saying is that the x like the x position of blue1 is going to be equal to where the mouse is going to be, the x position, and the y of the blue1 is where the mouse is going to be. So yeah, I will just do one thing. I will click anywhere and I will go to the stage and I will change the background color to something which is not white, so we can see our canvas. And yeah, and I will start to drag. I'm going to have a little issue. That's because I am zoomed in. So I am going to zoom out back to 100%. And if I'm going to drag, my shape is going to be like so. The center of the shape is going to be where is the mouse. So even though I am going to, for example, drag in here like so, the shape will automatically reposition to be in the center of the mouse. Okay, this is something that we have been doing in the first tutorial. In this one, what we want to achieve is that when I'm going to drag in here, I want to stay in there. But before of that, I need to re-explain, one thing, and that's when I'm going to be zoomed in, it's going to be offset. The thing is that let me go in here, let me go to my code, and what I'm going to do is in my drag shape, I am going to go console.log, and I'm going to console.log root blue1.x like so. So we are going to be console.logging where is the x position of blue1, and I will go plus, and I'm going to go blue. So now we know in the console that this is going to be for the blue, and I'm going to do the same thing for the stage mouse x. So I'm going to console.log stage.mouse x like so. Mouse, let me copy this because I can even spell mouse x like so, and this is going to be mouse. Okay, and and I will go with Control Enter. I will zoom back to 100 like so, and I'm going to be dragging, and you can see, or maybe it will be better if I create one more console.log. Let's go console.log, and we are going to just go with something like this, so to differentiate it, I will go with Control Enter, and I will be dragging like so, and you can see that right now my blue is going to have X on the 19, mouse is on the 19, and so on. And now if I go to the right side, blue is going to be almost 500, and the mouse is going to be the same. Okay, but if I'm going to zoom like so, let's say to 500, I will be dragging, and they are still the same, so the X position of blue is, let's say right now 316, and mouse is the same, 316. But it is not going to be working, and it is going to be offset. Okay, the reason for this is that if I go in here and I'm going to say that this dot blue one, and this is something which is essential to understand, because otherwise with calculating the offset this can be confusing. So I'm going to say this blue one dot x is going to be equal to 500 like so, and I will go with Control Enter, and my blue one is going to be positioned on the 500. Okay, it doesn't matter if I am going to be zoom in or zoom out or anything, it is always going to be positioned in here, So right now I will zoom in like so, I will go to 200%, and right now this seems like it's not 500 by 500, but it seems like it's 1000 by 1000. Okay, but the blue one, we set it to be on the 500, and it is going to be always in here. So like Adobe Animate or like this browser is recalculating this. So no matter if we are going to be zoomed in, the 500 for the blue shape is in here, or when I say this to be 250, which is half of the stage, it is going to be in here, But the issue is that if I go, I will get rid of this like so, and I will go one more time with what we have. I will go with my mouse, and my mouse, when I will be in here, it's not going to be 500, but it's going to be 1000 or 900, it's almost 1000. It should be 1000 on the corner like so, but yeah. So the thing is that the mouse is not, adjusted, recalculated as the shape is. So when I want right now my mouse is on the 500, I am in the middle, and blue is on the 500. So my mouse is in here. For the mouse, this is 500. I said that blue is going to have the same as mouse, but 500 for the mouse is in here, and 500 for the shape is in here. When I'm not going to be zoomed in and I'm going to be dragging, I go in here, and for the mouse 500 is in here, and so on. If I zoom to 150% like so, for the mouse 500 is in here, and when I go in here it's 750 or something. So what we need to do is we need to divide the mouse by the size of the canvas, by the size of the stage. So I can go ahead and console.log stage.scale_x, like so. I will go with Control Enter. When I am not going to be zoomed in, it's going to be 1. When I am going to be 200, it's going to be 2. When I am going to be 150, it's going to be 1.5. But basically what we need to do is we need to divide this stage mouse x, which let's say that we are on the 200% is 1000, and I am going to go divide it by stage.scale_x, which right now it's, let me write it in here. Let's say that we are zoomed in 200%, like so. Okay, so the mouse on the right side would be 1000, but we want the mouse in there to be 500. Stage scale x is going to be 2. So I am going to go like this, and it's going to give me 500. Hopefully this makes sense. If not, don't worry, I will show it one more time with the console.logs. But yeah, and right now I am going to do the same thing in here. So I will go divided by stage.scale_y, the y position, and right now it is going to be correctly, like so. Okay, but yeah, you can see that mouse is 738, but blue is 500. What I'm going to do is I am also going to console.log adjusted mouse. So I will go just to show you stage.mousex divided by stage.scale_x, and I will go plus, and I will go adjusted mouse. Maybe I will misspell it, but yeah, I will go with Control Enter, and right now you can see that adjusted mouse is in here going to be 500. Let me zoom in to 200 like so we can see this. So right now we are, the original mouse is 444, adjusted mouse is 222. When I go in here like so, adjusted mouse is almost 500. We want blue to be 500. The original mouse is this, but yeah, and it is going to be recalculated correctly no matter how much I am going to be zoom in. Okay, this is something which hopefully right now make sense. So I will get rid of this console.logs like so. I will go one more time with Control Enter. But what I want to do right now is I want to click in here, and I want to be dragging this corner, but right now we are always going to be like so. So what I am going to do is, for the moment, I am going to delete this like so, and before of press move, I am going to create a listener which is going to be mouse down like so. Okay, and I am going to call the function, instead of drag shape, to be start drag like so. Okay, and yeah, I can get rid of this console.log, and I am going to go function start drag like so, and yeah. And let's say that for now I am going to console.log root.blue1.x, and I am going to make this to be blue, like so, just so we can see. And I am going to console also the mouse, so I will go stage.mousex, stage.mousex, and I am going to make this to be mouse, like so. And I will go with Control Enter, and yeah. Now I want you to zoom to 100%, okay? So you do not want to right now be zoomed in, okay? Because I am explaining something and I want to be on 100%. I will click in here, you know, on the left side of the shape, okay? And I can see that blue is going to be on the X 246. So in here we have 0, in here we have 500. And when I click in here, mouse was 146 and blue was 246, okay? And now what I would like to do is when I am going to be dragging, I want my shape to be always, you know, this difference more from the mouse. Let me go one more time, and I am going to outside of the function create a variable offset. Later on I will explain why outside. I am going to go let offset x is going to be let offset x. Just define the variable outside, okay? Later on I will explain why, but yeah. And now what I'm going to do is in the function start drag, I'm going to say that offset x is going to be equal to root.blue1.x minus stage.mousex, like so, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log, and I'm going to console.log offset x, okay, like so. And I will just go with plus, so we know that it is offset, and I'm going to call this to be offset x. Okay, Control Enter, and I will click in here, and the blue was 246, mouse was 150, offset is 96. Okay, if I try to click on the corner edge, okay, right now the offset is 100. If I click on the center, you know, I almost click on the center, but blue was 246, mouse 242, offset is 4. And if I click on the other side, like so, the blue was 246, mouse is more, 340, let's say 6, and offset is minus 96, or if I click on the edge, it's going to be, you know, almost 100. You know, and now what we want to do is we want to position. It's going to be better if I show you. Okay, so now we have this like so, and we are going to create one more listener. I will duplicate this, and I am going to go this blue one, add even listener, but right now we are going to go with press move like so, and we are going to call this to be drag shape like so. And I'm going to create the function. So I will go function drag shape like this, okay? And in this we can, you know, type that root.blue1.x is going to be equal to stage.mousex, okay? For now, let's go with this. For now, don't zoom in. Let's keep this, let's keep it 100, okay? I will go Control Enter. And right now I will click in here and I will drag, but let me refresh this. I will click, I will drag, but it is going to be in the center, you know? So what I am going to do is I am going to say that root blue1.x is going to be equal to stage.mousex plus offset x, like so. I will go with Control Enter, and right now I will click, I will drag, and this is what we are going to have. you know. And the thing is, you know, imagine right now that I will position this X to be 250, like so, and I will click with my mouse in here, okay? So this one is on the X 250, mouse is 150, you know. Let me go to the text tool and create, you know, the center is 150 of the shape, like so. The mouse position is going to be 150, like so. And we are going to calculate that the offset, the like 250 minus 150, that's what we have in here. Offset is blue X, 250 minus stage mouse X, you know, 150. The offset is 100, you know. And then what I am saying is that I want my blue one X to be stage mouse X, like 150, plus this offset. And that means that if the mouse is going to be on the position 250, you know, we are going to click in here, you know, but we are going to drag like so. So right now, mouse is going to be on the 250. And when mouse is going to be on 250, I want the shape to be the same as mouse, but plus the offset, which is going to be 100, which is going to create this to be 350. And yeah, so basically, let me delete this like so. I will click in here, and I want my shape to be positioned on X, where is my mouse, but always plus 100, okay? And the funny thing is that it's work on the other side. On the other side is going to be minus, but it is still going to be working. This can be a little bit tricky to understand, but yeah, because when you are going to have like, let's say 250 plus 100, it's going to be 350. But if you are going to have 250 plus minus 100, it's going to be 150. You know, try to think about this if this doesn't make sense, but basically it's right now we are having the blue was 347, mouse was 255, and if I am going to drag it in here and I will click, right now the mouse is 224, blue is more, and it is always going to be this 100 more. And in here, the offset is going to be minus, so we are going to be adding the minus number. So it's like adding number, minus number is like subtracting, and yeah. So I will click in here, let's say. The mouse was 343, the blue was 248, the offset is minus this one, and right now I want when the mouse is not going to be 343, but let's say it's going to be 243, then we are going to make 248 of blue to be 148, or not if this was minus 100. Try to think about it. I cannot explain this. This can be a little bit, you know, but hopefully this makes sense. And this is working on the both sides like so. But if we are going to zoom in, it's not going to be working as we want. So what we need to do is every time that we are going to have stage mouse X, no matter where we are going to have it, we simply are going to divide it by stage.scaleX, you know. This can be right now hard to think about, but I showed you in the previous example why we do this, and every time we are going to use stage mouse X, we will divide it with the stage.scaleX. We are going to do it in the start drag. We are also going to do it in a drag shape. So I will go stage mouse X divided by stage.scaleX plus the offset like so. Control enter, command enter. Right now I can be zoom in, and it is going to be working fine. Now the very reason, or the reason why I have put it offset x to be outside is that if I would, I am going to comment this out, define let offset x inside of the start drag. When you define function inside of the when you define variable inside of the function, the variable is only for that function, so we wouldn't have access for the offset in here. I can show you right now. I am going to get some kind of error. Offset x is not defined because offset x was defined only in the start drag. That's why we define it outside. When you define variable outside of the function in main scope, it is going to be accessible in all functions. And then in the start drag, we are not declaring the function, we are just changing the value of the function. Okay, and basically the same thing. I will get rid of the console.logs. I will do for the y. So let offset y. And right now, I am not going to be explaining. We are going to do the same thing, but we are going to go that offset y is going to be root blue1.y minus stage mouse y divided by stage.scale y. And the same thing we are going to do in a drag shape. I will duplicate this and I am going to make this to be y, this one to be y. I do not need to, or I could, but the y position works the same as the x position. So if this don't make sense, try to watch it one more time. But yeah, and right now I am not going to be zoomed in, and it is going to be dragging everything correctly, like so. If I am going to be zoomed in, it is going to be also dragging everything correctly, like so. Okay, so yeah, basically this is almost it, because in the first tutorial I explained all of the detecting collision and so on. So I will show you, but right now I am not going to be explaining, or if I am going to be explaining only very little, I just show you that the process since now is the same as in the first tutorial. You just create the functions and so on. So let me change this for now to be 100 by 100, just to make this little bit smaller, like so. Okay, like this, everything is working fine. And let's say that I am going to create some target area. So I'm going to create a new layer. I will go with rectangle tool. I am going to choose dark color, and I am going to create something like this. Okay, and I'm going to make this to be let's say 200 by 100, so 200, but I will have to unlock this, and 200 by 100, and now what we are going to do is we are going to be detecting the collision. So I will convert it to the symbol F8. This is going to be, I will just call this to be area. Okay, and I will go with OK. And now what we need to do is let me position this for the moment, area X to be 250. And what we, as a first condition, want to know is that if let me go like this. Let me create one more listener. Okay, this blue one, add even listener. Right now we are going to go with press up, and I am going to call this to be stop drag, like so. Stop, let me go back, stop drag, like this. And I am going to create a function stop drag, like so, parentheses, curly braces, and for now let's console.log that you dropped the shape, just to make sure that it's working. So I will go, you drop the shape, and so on. Okay, and now I am going to create a condition that if root.blue1.x is going to be bigger than area x, console.log good, for example, like so. Okay, so we have this area. I will have to call this to be area, like so. And right now, what I am saying when I drop the shape is that when the x of the blue, you know, here is going to be bigger than x of this one. So when it's going to be here, 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 somewhere on this side, we are going to console.log good. And let me reposition my layers like so. So yeah, I will go with Control Enter. And right now I am going to drop this. Area is not defined, okay, obviously, because I need to I need to go root.area, or you know, this.area, but we have the variable, so root.area x, Control Enter. And right now I am going to be console.log, okay, I have one more error, console.log, like so. Hopefully I don't have more errors. So yeah, I will go like this, good. Okay, but if I drag in here, nothing is going to happen. I will get rid of this console.log, you drop the shape, like so. So I will get rid of this, like so. And right now what we are saying is that if the x of this shape is going to be bigger than x of this area, you know, we are going to console.log good. But if not, then we are not going to console.log anything like so. But we don't want to compare this with the x of this, but we want to compare this with the x of this minus the half of the area. Okay, so I will click, the area is 200 by 100. So I can create a variable. So I will create a variable, let area width is going to be equal to 200, and let area height is going to be equal to 100. Okay, this is what we have, but I do not want to full width, I want the half of the width. So I will go, let area width half is going to be 200 divided by 2, or I can directly write 100, but I will keep it like so. And area height half is going to be 100 divided by 2, or I could, you know, write directly 50. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to compare root blue one x, if it's going to be bigger than root.area x minus this area with half. Okay, so yeah, I will go with Control Enter. And right now, every time that we are going to be in here, it is going to work. Okay, so basically, very simply, what we have is the area of this right now is 250. So this is 250. I am explaining way more than I wanted, but yeah, some of you may not watch the first tutorial, but yeah, the half of this is 100. So we are saying 250 minus the half, which is 100. So this is going to give me 150, you know. And I am comparing if the x of this, you know, you can see x90, x110, is x of this bigger than 150, you know. So that's what we are doing. Let me go back to the code, you know. So one more time, root.area x right now is going to be positioned on 250, but it can be positioned anywhere. Area with half is 100, so we are just saying like 250 minus 100 is like 150, and is blue x, you know, this blue root blue one x is this bigger than 150, and when blue x is bigger than 150, when it's 151, when it's 170, and so on. So yeah, basically this is the condition that that we have, like so. And yeah, and this is something which is going to be working if I am going to position the area, for example, in here, like so. Control Enter. In here we are not going to have any console.log, but in here we are going to be good, you know, because right now we are calculating area is 370, 371, and we have the condition 371 minus 100. So right now it's like 271, and we are comparing blue x with this number, you know, and we need to do the same thing on the other side. Let's position it in here. So what I'm going to do is I will go and I'm going to type end like so, and I will go to the new line like so. So we have just if statement, it's on multiple lines, but fine. And I'm going to go root.blue1.x is going to be smaller than root area x plus, like so, okay. And I explained this in the previous tutorial, but yeah. So right now, let's say the area is 250x, the width, half of the width is still 100, so plus 100, so this is 350, and we are comparing if the x is smaller. So basically with these two conditions we are saying that if blue dot x is going to be bigger than 150, and at the same time blue dot x is going to be smaller than 350, you know. So this is like the first condition, which is this one. This is the second condition, which is this one, like so. I will get rid of this, Control Enter, Command Enter, and I am going to be dragging in here. Nothing is going to be happening. I will go in here, and nothing is going to be happening, and in here it's going to be working, you know. Now I am going to do the same thing very quickly with the Y position. So I will go end like so, and right now I will go root.blue1.y, and I'm going to compare it whether it's bigger than root area dot y, root area dot y minus area height half. Now I am not going to be explaining this because, you know, I will go with Control Enter, and right now it's not going to be in here, but only in here. And the same thing we are going to do with the last one. So I will go with end like so, and I'm going to go root.blue1.y is going to be smaller than root area y plus. Okay, like so. So this is the same thing, only with the Y position. So yeah, Y position in here on the top is 0 and the bottom is 500. But yeah, basically right now we have this collision like so, and only when I'm going to be inside, I am going to have console.log good like so. I can reposition this area wherever I want, like so, and it is still going to be working the same way because we are calculating this from the X and Y position of this one and from the width and height. So yeah, it is still going to be working like so, okay. And what we can do is very simply, if we are going to be in there, we are going to remove the listeners. So I will have to remove all three of the listeners. So I am going to copy this, Control C, I will go in here, Control V, and I will have to change the keyword this to root because we are in the functions, but I already explained this. So this is going to be root. Hopefully I am recording, because if not, I am not going to record this tutorial. But yeah, let me see, hopefully yes, root like so, okay. And instead of add even listener, I am going to go remove, and I am going to remove all three of them. We need to remove all the listeners like so. We do not need to, it depends on what you want, but basically right now, if I go in here and I drag, I cannot move this anymore, and yeah, okay. And yeah, and the last thing that we can do is we can return this to the original position when we don't drag to the area. So for that, what I need to do is I need to create a variable, let init blue x, or original blue x, is going to be equal to this dot blue1.x, okay. And I am going to make the same init blue y is going to be this blue1.y. So basically we are at the beginning storing in the variable position of blue1x and blue1y. If it's going to be in here like so, it's going to be 7070. I can console.log this very quickly, console.log init blue x and init blue y, console.log init blue x, init blue y, like so, and it's going to be right now 7070 because you know that's where we have this. If I'm going to position this in here, it's going to be 290 320, you know, so I will go with Control Enter, and yeah, and basically I do not need to console.log this, I just want it to show you like so. But what we are going to do is we are going to have if condition. When we are going to drop, we are going to have condition if the shape is going to be inside of the area. You know, we are calculating it in here. This is what is going to happen. Else, if it's not going to be in the area when we drop, we are going to say that root.blue1.x is going to be equal to init blue x, like so. And the same thing, root blue1.y is going to be equal to init blue y, like so. Control Enter, Command Enter. And yeah, right now it's going to return unless I am going to position this correctly. And yeah, I can refresh, I can zoom in. It is going to, you know, be dragged when I am going to where I am going to get it, like so. And yeah. So yeah, I'm going to finish this tutorial in here. I didn't want to explain all of this collision detection because I did it in the first tutorial, but people may not watch the first one, but yeah. So this is the same as the first one, except that right now we have this mouse down and we are calculating the offset, and we are, you know, dragging this considering the offset. So instead of having, you know, the shape always in the center, we are going to have the shape on a place where we catch this, like so. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is to make this work on the mobile. I will go with Control Enter, I will go F12, I will go to the toggle device, like so. I will try to drag, nothing is going to be working. I will try to refresh, nothing is going to be working. So if we want to make this to work on the mobile, what we need to do is we need to type on the beginning or somewhere create JS dot touch, the T has to be capital, dot enable, like so, and stage. Okay, this is simply something that we need to do. Create JS, touch, enable, stage, like so. I will go with Control Enter. I will go to the toggle device. I will try. Nothing is going to work. But if I refresh, I don't know why I have to refresh. It's going to be. It should be working. It's not. Let me see. Okay, and it was not working because I am tired and I was trying to drag the target area, but what we need to do is drag the shape. So yeah, I was for the moment confused why this doesn't work. So if I'm going to uncomment this one more time and I am going to try to drag, nothing is going to be working. I will refresh, nothing is going to be working, like so. But as soon as I add this line of code, Control Enter, and I will go in here like so. It's not going to be working, but when I am going to refresh this like so, it's going to be working. I don't know why I have to refresh this, but yeah. So I was trying to drag this and I was like, why? But yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is all. If you have been here until the end, you can write me that in the comment. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, I am going to finish this. I will provide you this code. You can watch part 1 if I was explaining that. There may be other stuff. And yeah, but yeah, this is it. This is all. Thank you. Take care and goodbye.